2 games in, and already 2 heartbreaking losses.
I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tampa Bay Sports Daily and the second episode of Rays Recap. And it is another heartbreaker for Tampa Bay as they lose to St. Louis on Saturday, 6-5 in 10 innings, and this was a doozy of a game for Tampa Bay. Fell down 2-0 in the first inning and didn't seem like they could get any offense going, but we'll get to that in a second. Joe Boyle had a great game on the mound. Looked like he was struggling a bit at the start, but settled in and pitched really well. Rays could not get to the Cardinals pitcher at all. They could not get any hits on McGreevy at all. But jumping right in to this game, Cardinals in the first inning score 2 runs on a Berusi single to center field as Weather Holt scored, and then Gorman also singled. And that was the extent of the runs for a while, as the Rays could not get anything going for the first 6 innings. When McGreevy was pitching, there were actually being no hit through those innings, and they had one chance in the third. They got runners on first and second from a walk and an error in the third inning, but couldn't develop anything, and this is worrying a bit. We'll get to the rest of the game in a second, but this is definitely worrying a bit that the Rays cannot get really any offense going if the top of the order is not producing. I mean, we saw it 2 days ago against on Thursday, where the bottom of the order started getting going, and then the top of the order produced runs. Bottom of the order got on, top of the order produced runs. They ended up losing that game, but we saw that, and that worked out for Tampa Bay. And that is how you win baseball games. You have the top of the order get going and develop bottom of the order. Develop chances and get going, and they just didn't do that yesterday. And then in the eighth inning, St. Louis got 2 more runs on another couple of singles, and that made it 4-0. It seemed Tampa Bay was out of it. Like, they weren't gonna come back. They weren't gonna produce any runs in this game. It looked like they were gonna get shut out in the second game. And Simpson reached on an infield single, scoring a Ronda, making it 1-4. And then Williams singled to Carson Williams singled, and Caminero scored, and Simpson scored, which cut it to 4-3. And then an incredible base running job by Carson Williams, scoring from first on a single to right center field, and it was tied at 4-4. Rays came back to tie the game at 4-4, and it was an impressive comeback. And then they took the lead in the 10th on a hit to center field, and then Griffin Jax comes in the bottom of the 10th, and he's supposed to be our closer, but he's given up the leading runs in the last 2 games, the first 2 games of this season, and that's just really frustrating when your closer can't settle in early into the season and the Cardinals scored 2 runs in the 10th and walk it off on the second day of the MLB season. They'll try to avoid the sweep today, but just the Rays have not looked good in this series. They haven't felt like a team that's woken up, per se, to put it bluntly, I guess. They haven't been playing well. They haven't pitched well, especially the bullpen. They've been giving up a lot of runs. I mean, over the starts, the Rays starting pitchers have only given up 3 of the 15 runs they've given up in the first games, which makes you question the bullpen's potential. And yes, they are missing a couple arms that Uniceda will really help, but Cole Sulser had a couple shutdown innings, and then they brought in Jackson. He blew the game, and it's just frustrating when you have a closer who isn't doing well. The Rays had more hits, even though they were being no hit through 6 innings. They had more runners left on base, and that is just a big thing right now. It's like they're like maybe right now 8-21 with runners in scoring position, like batting wise, and that is just not going to cut it in the MLB. Yes, that's a 300 average, but it's just not ideal. You want to produce when runners are in scoring position, and they can't right now. But it's just frustrating. Luckily, it's early in the season. It's only game 2 of a 162-game season. I think this team will find its groove maybe late April, mid-May. It's going to take a while. I mean, we got Shane McClanahan pitching later this week for the first time in 2 years. That should be interesting when they play in Milwaukee. But the Rays will try to avoid the sweep today. That is a 2:15 first pitch in a couple of hours. They'll try to avoid the sweep against St. Louis and maybe get their first win on the board. We'll, of course, break that game down after that one was over. But again, Rays lose 6-5 over the St. Louis Cardinals in extra innings. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and weekend. And go Rays.